One of the things I generally don't really like in movies or TV shows for that matter is when they have talking animals and the animals' mouths move when they're speaking. That is sadly one of the more tolerable parts of the new movie Strays. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new film Strays. This just hit theaters, so you can check it out on the big screen if you so desire. Although, after watching my review, maybe if you're on the fence, it will sort of lean you in the direction of, let's not see this movie. But in any event, before I launch into the specifics of it, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We've got a ton of great movie and TV reviews for you to check out. I try to post something new just about every day, so subscribe down below, hit that notification bell as well, and you'll be alerted to when I drop all my new videos. All right, so let's talk about Strays. This features Will Ferrell voicing the lead dog here, Reggie, who is a border terrier. He is abandoned by his horrible, horrible owner, played by Will Forte, and he never really wanted Reggie to begin with, and he tries to lose him by playing this fetch game, and they get further and further out of the town till finally he cannot find his way back. So he joins forces with some other strays, including a Boston Terrier named Bug, voiced by Jamie Foxx, an Australian Shepherd, voiced by Isla Fisher, and a Great Dane, voiced by Randall Park. And there's a few other people here, either live action or doing voice work, that I think maybe are, more of a surprise or a cameo or something. So I'll just leave the cast list there. And if you do decide to see this movie, maybe you'll be pleased with some of that. So, look, this movie is very R-rated. They've tried to make that clear in all of the advertising and the posters and stuff. So, parents know that this is not Homeward Bound or something like that, that maybe it's trying to emulate a little bit. This is a very, very heavily curse-laden movie. And here's the thing. I have said for such a long time in doing these reviews in both, adult animated TV shows and movies like the, what was the one with the puppets that Melissa McCarthy did? Happy Time Murders, stuff like that. You really have to actually have some sort of, characters and stuff. It can't just be, the dog said the F word a bunch of times, or, talked about having sex or whatever, or the puppet, did this. There has to be more to it than that. There has to be something further. And I do actually think there's a little bit of a story here. And certainly they're trying to get you, with the whole animal cruelty thing. And obviously, the Will Forte character is a prick, and you hate him, and, you want these dogs to exact revenge on him. And that's all fine and good, I can get behind that, of course. But it's such a small part of what this movie's about. This movie is really like 90%, dogs cursing, getting drunk, getting high on mushrooms, showing their penises. What else? Urinating. There's a lot of pee stuff here. Vomiting, eating vomit. Like, it's a gross out movie. And look, I can take that. Certainly there have been many over the years that are good. But there's nothing here except, let's, have the dog say the F word like 100 times. Okay, fine. And if they had reeled some of that back, I feel like we could have actually gotten some semblance of, a decent storyline. And there's I don't even want to use the word amusing with this movie, because there's nothing really about this that is. But there's like a scene where they go to like a fair or carnival or whatever, and fireworks start going off, and they start freaking out, thinking they're under attack and stuff. And that's, a little bit of a commentary on, okay, these idiots that light off fireworks all night and scare people's dogs and whatever. It was just such a minor part, but it was played for laughs, and it was okay. But I mean, this movie is just, how much do we have to endure the puking and the pissing and the cursing of the dogs? Give me something a little bit more than that. So in the positive column, and this is a very, very bad grade. It's a bad movie. There's not much positive, but I will say they did use real dogs for this, so there's not CGI. There's a little bit of CGI, and obviously, like I said, their mouths move, which I really, really don't like. I think the Babe movies are maybe the only time I was sort of, on board with that, and I guess maybe Mr. Ed when I was a kid. Although, finding out later in life how they made his mouth move is horrifying. But obviously there's CGI there where their mouths are moving. But for the most part, they use real dogs. And so, okay, I can appreciate that. Sometimes, CGI dogs, especially if they're one of, the stars of the movie or whatever, it just doesn't look right. And they didn't have that here. They used real dogs. Okay, cool. One other slight positive is I think Randall Park, did a pretty good job with his voice work. But they were trying to, ring these emotional sort of notes as well, which did not jive at all with the tone of the movie. And then again, going back to sort of the, the animal abuse, animal cruelty, kind of themes. Again, just not really going with the rest of the theme of the movie. And I don't quite know who this movie's for because it's rated R, and I would say it's a pretty hard R based on what they talk about. I can't imagine anybody over the age of 12 finding this funny. I watched this, I was, it was just me by myself, but there were 5 or 6 other people in the theater. One person laughed maybe 3 or 4 times, and that's it. And all the rest of us just kind of sat there. I don't know what they were thinking, if they were on the same page as I am, as what am I watching? It's so poorly made. This was directed by somebody I wasn't too familiar with, Josh Greenbaum. But he did do a couple documentaries that got some high praise, and he also directed Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar, which is a pretty funny comedy. I think I maybe gave it a C+ or a B- originally, but the more I think about it, that's a pretty good movie. And most sort of baffling to me is on board as producers are Phil Lord and Chris Miller. I talk about how great they are all the time, and they never miss. They do the Spider-Verse movies, they did the Lego movies, they did Last Man on Earth for Fox with Will Forte. So this is a rare misfire for them. I don't know how much hands-on they were with this, but this is a terrible, terrible movie. I don't understand who the audience is for this, who thinks this is funny. It wasn't me. I leave Strays with an F. One of my few for the year. I think that's my 5th one maybe for the year. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Dan Reviews It. Bye.